Hey guys, I hope that all of you are having a really happy Saturday. It's kind of overcast here. Not cool. I mean, it's nice, but it would be super cool to see the sun. I'm reminded that we kind of went through this dark phase all during the winter, and I'm thinking, oh yuck, I kind of don't want to do that again. But here we are. You can't control the weather. I'm making some pockets today, and I tell you where I got this idea from. And it's really not earth-shattering or anything like that. It is just, it's a way to maybe knot together some pockets when you are not going anywhere. And I am not going anywhere today, and I need some pockets. So these are the pockets that I've been making on the latest flow journals that I've been making out of dividers, which I'm out of dividers. I'm out of file folders. So tomorrow I plan a little trip out so I can go and gather up some supplies. These are, they're just a lot of fun to make. And I kind of wanted to show you how I'm doing it. I am not going to do the sewing, but I'm just going to put together the pocket and show you how I do it. Like I said, it's not earth-shattering. It's not like some bright idea. It's just how to do something, use what you have, right? You guys know that I am just a huge fan of using what you have. The first thing that I did with this is a recollections pocket, and I really do love it. The first thing that I did with this was I kind of measured it out and got my dimensions. If you want to work with like some cardstock like what I have here, it's 7.5 long by 2 3/4. You want to create a 1 1/4 inch little tab thing, like right there, to go on it. And you could, like, I've got the dropsies today really bad. So sorry about that. You could, like, do that, and have a little folded pocket up there. But I like to kind of keep them open so I can put them on the journal and then put a nice little bookmark right here. So it all works out really nicely. I got some super cool paper that I really do like. So that's what we're going to work with today. So I have my 7.5 by 2 3/4 little strip of cardstock. Now, you might say, well, why aren't you just using, like, why are you not using a 7.5 by 2 3/4 whole piece of cardstock? Well, you have to understand, and it took me a minute to get this, that this is wasted space, because the way that I'm using this, and you might use it a different way, and the whole piece of cardstock will work great for you, right? But this is hidden. This is glued and double stick tape to the front of the journal, so you don't even see what is on the back. To me, this paper is just, so what is that? In Tammy's world, that's a waste of paper, so we aren't going to do that. This paper is so pretty, and I love the crowns. I also really do like the way it's trimmed with this, it almost looks like braiding metalwork, something like that there. Okay. Now, I have my 7.5 by 2 3/4 strip. The first thing I need to do is to create a 1 inch tab here. Now, you can see that I have this labeled at 1 1/4 inch. When I cut the piece of paper to go right here, and you'll see what I mean in a minute, it needs to be 1 1/4 because it needs to drop down below the score line here in order to not show when you fold the pocket up. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So first thing that I want to do is I want to score at 1/4. I mean, not 1/4, an inch, okay? So there you go. then instead of scoring this, I just fold it up. You know, I'm going to fold it up and get it as close to that score line as possible. Probably the score line is not that necessary because, like I said, I'm not folding it like this. I'm doing something different, but for me, in my head, this works better, okay? So we've done our 1-inch score line here. We're ready to cut our paper. The paper that I want to use right here is the actual border of this paper. So let's turn it like this. And we're going to take a 1 1/4 inch strip from here. Okay. All right, so we've got that done. This will be, I find it really hard to use my cutter when I'm doing a video. So I'm sorry if I'm a little klutzy. Okay, so you see what's going to happen here? It's going to be like at the top like that. It is 2 3/4 lengthwise, like that. But I'm not going to do 2 3/4. I'm going to put this strip at 2 3/4, and then I'm going to edge it over about 1/8 of an inch, because I find when I start gluing this that it is a whole lot better to err on the side of it being too big than err on the side of it being too small. Okay, so we're just going to kind of scoot this over, and we've got our 2 3/4. I think these are going to make such pretty pockets. Okay, I'm going to glue this, but you can see that I'm going to have this much left over, which I'll just cut off. It's not that big a deal. All right, now we need our 3 1/4 by, let's see how big this is. So 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. I hate measuring things. Okay, I don't like it. Again, we're going to cut it just a wee bit bigger, you know, just to make sure that we've got our dimensions correct. I am going to go ahead and chop these words off right here. All right, so we're going for 2 3/4. So let's do that one first. Make sure we're at 2 3/4. Measure once, measure twice, cut once, right? That's a rule. And then I need to cut 3 1/4. Again, gonna ease it up just a tiny bit, you know, just a little bit, just to try, and I can see that it's not gonna quite do. 3 1/4. You know, I'm trying to get the crown on here. So you'll have to, if you're working with a piece of paper that has images that you want to use, then you know, you have to kind of try and work with what you have here. So there we go. And then that is going to fit on the front, just like that. Okay. So this is what things are starting to look like. And I really do like it. I like the color of it. Next thing that I want to do is kind of trim it up. I want to use a little bit of glue stick with this. Have to be careful because I'm going to sew it, right? So I need to, my old machine would, I mean, she was a workhorse, but she was also from 1949, and it was just a matter of time before she was going to not want to play. And I got a Singer sewing machine at a yard sale for $3. So that's what I'm using right now. So I've just put a little bit of glue stick kind of right in the middle right here. And I am going to drop this a little below the score line. You know, the score line is just kind of, what is the score line? A guide, maybe? Okay, so we're gonna put that right here. You know, I love using the glue stick because I can reposition it. And remember, the glue stick is not really going to, I'm not using it as an adhesive. I'm using it as a placement tool. So I can place this piece and then work with it. Because I'm sewing this way, I need to make sure that my glue stick is in the middle of this strip right here. All right, now I'm looking to see there's a little bit of a gap right here, but I think I'll be okay. Going to cut off a little here, just trim it up just a little bit. Just like that. All right. And then I'm anxious to see how my machine reacts to this glitter that is in here, you know, the embossing kind of thing that's going on. Now, next thing I want to do is go ahead and place this. Like I said, if you use a glue stick, you got a wee bits of wiggle room, right? Now that's what we have so far. Next thing I want to do is I want to punch, and I have this keen little punch. And it's not going to punch through, but it has given me a bit of a line that I can just cut around. I didn't think it would punch through, but it's okay. Like I said, it's kind of given me that guideline. And there we go. So there's our pocket, y'all. It's just a way to kind of, like I said, there's just a lot of times that I don't want to go out. I also don't want to order something online, even though it'll be delivered to me the next day. I like to use my use what you have mentality and make something work. And this is how I do it. Now I'm going to take this off camera and I'm going to sew it, but I'm not going to pause the video. I've got several more pocket making ideas laying next to me, so we'll just have another video either today or tomorrow where I kind of take you through another little pocket process, and I'll show you this one when I get it all sewn and that. Okay, thanks guys for watching, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care of yourselves. Have a happy Saturday. Bye.